If you're trying to read more for the new year, there are some tools that can help you achieve that goal. I've tried many of them, but this is by far the best one. Let me show you what it can do and how I use it to read more and remember what I've read. So I've been struggling with this problem where I buy lots of books but never read them, which is called Tsundoku in Japanese. I know I should read them, but it's too overwhelming or I simply don't have enough time. And even if I started to read one, sometimes it's not what I expected and stopped reading it. This is why I started to use a book summary app, because I can learn the key ideas of books in a shorter time, as well as find the books that I'm truly interested in, instead of buying them randomly and end up not finishing them because they were not what I expected. There are actually many book summary services, most of which are similar, but the one that stood out to me was Shortform. I've been a huge fan of them for a few years and I'm really happy that they are sponsoring this video today. So compared to the other book summary apps, their book guides are more detailed and come with original insight and analysis, which is one of my favorite things about them. So let me show you an example. Say I want to learn about negotiation strategies. One of the best books in this field is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. The book guide goes through each negotiation tactic, but that is normal, right? What's different about them is that they also talk about the underlying psychology and cognitive biases that were not necessarily mentioned in the book, but very important to truly understand the ideas. And they go even further by comparing the book with other ones in the field, such as Getting to Yes, which is another classic. So by reading just one book guide, you get to learn not just the key concepts of the book, but also the context and the bigger picture of the topic. Also, I'm very impressed by how quickly their library is expanding. It covers books and articles in a wide range of topics, such as health, business, science, communication, relationships, psychology, and productivity, from classics to the latest ones. Personally, I've been reading a lot of the book guides in relationships since I just got married, and I'm hoping to make it last long. So the books by the Gottman Institute are some of the best, but it's interesting how there are a variety of approaches and theories in relationships. And this is actually another example of how their analysis and insights are helpful. By just reading one book guide in this field, I can get a glimpse of different theories and opinions from multiple authors. That way, I can compare them and pick the one that suits me. Also, once I read a book summary and like the content, I can purchase the book and read it completely. I guess you can say this about most book summary apps, but it really helps you make the decision about which books to get. Since you can get the general idea of what each book is about, you know if it's something that you truly enjoy reading or need right now. If you're having the Tsundoku problem, this might be able to help. By the way, I also want to talk about their new feature, Shortform AI, which is a browser extension that quickly generates high-quality summaries for blogs, articles, emails, and YouTube videos. You may be thinking, oh, that's nothing special because there are lots of similar apps that do exactly the same. That's kind of true, but having tried most of those AI summary apps, I can say that quality of the summaries is much better than the others. So say I want to know the core ideas of this article. I can just click the extension button and it will generate a summary in a few seconds. And this is very standard, but what's different is that it also includes the context of the subject as well as counter-arguments, which helps you see the topic from multiple aspects. And if you want to dive deeper into it, it lists some of the relevant books so you can read about it in depth. So one of my favorite use cases of this extension is that when I have a particular topic I want to study, I start by Googling it and find an article, then use the extension to get a general idea, and finally read some of the suggested books to deepen my understanding. It's actually a great book recommendation tool. Oh, by the way, you can use this on a YouTube video too. If you don't want to spend a lot of time on a long video, you could just let the extension summarize it. It gives you a timestamp so you can check the only part you want to know. I use this fairly often to save time. Now, personally, I think reading isn't useful unless you apply the knowledge in real life. So to do that, you need to remember what you read, which is actually very, very tough. So to help you do that, you want to use a note app, which is often referred as your second brain. You could just write your favorite passages from books directly to your note app or notebook, but it takes time. So what I like to do is to use Readwise, which is a software that automatically imports your highlights from books and articles and sync them to your note app. And luckily, Shortform has an integration with Readwise. That means you can make highlights in any of the Shortform book guides, and then they will be automatically exported to your note app. Or you can use the Readwise mobile app to review your highlights. Seeing what you read regularly really helps remember it, which in turn helps you apply it in real life. So for the past few months, it's been my routine to read a book summary, which you can do in 10 to 20 minutes. And if I really liked it, I usually purchase the book. Then during free time, I can use my favorite note app to review my reading highlights and notes. Also, when there is something you really want to memorize, I recommend apps like Anki. You can turn your highlights into flashcard, so you can do spaced repetition and active recall to internalize the knowledge. You can check out my setup from the links in the description. Shortform gave us a special discount which gets you a free trial and 25% off the annual subscription, which is 3 months free. Just go to shortform.com/Shiomi and install Shortform AI from the link in the description. This is apparently the biggest discount they've given to anyone, so make sure to try it out and support the channel at the same time. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!